Oh, I think I'm getting ready to live. I think it's going. Let's see. It's getting ready. Okay, got it. Being sent to a third party. Setting up your meeting for Facebook Live. Redirecting. I think we did it. I think it's going. Woo! All right, cool.
Okay. What
Okay.
did you say? I didn't hear you.
I think we are live. I think we did it. It says we're streaming. You may have like some kind of thing you have to click on or something to
Yeah, I clicked
agree.
on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And there is a slight delay with the live, like it's just showing you sitting down. So, but yeah, there we go. We are live on Facebook, y'all. It's the first time we've done live on Facebook, especially using Zoom as a way to do that. So, welcome to us learning new technology. Ha 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 ha.
At least we're out of the Mercury retrograde.
Share now, public. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Share now, public. All right. I shared the live. Copy the link. Do all the things. All right. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think we did.
So how many people on your FYP and on all of your social, feeds that you're on, are you seeing post New Year, New Me content? Because I am very happy to report I'm not seeing any New Year, New Me stuff.
Yeah, I'm definitely not seeing as much as I used to see. I'm seeing a lot more of the like end of year reflecting on the past year. A lot of people are looking back at the good and the bad, and they're sharing the good and sharing the bad, and telling all the stories of last year.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really, I feel the collective move towards appreciating what you have right now and taking consistent action towards what you want, as opposed to, hey, we're in the dead of winter, let's totally change our life while everything else on earth is hibernating.
Yeah. Yep. At least for those of us on this side of the world where it is cold right now versus our like Australian friends where it is hot right now. But still, you don't make major changes in the middle of the summer or in the middle of the winter. And like spring and fall are your transitionatory seasons that you tend to want to do more things in. That's why there's spring cleaning, and that's why like fall transitions into more indoor celebrations and so many things happening. That has blown my mind how like in sync with the seasons I've gotten over the last year since I've been working with you, and like really recognizing like short days and changing expectations and long days, and yeah, it just how you feel intuitively as you're trying to do things.
Well, when we talk about expectations, there's such a driving force behind you achieving your goals. Because if your expectation when trying a new thing is that you're going to fail, because self-sabotage in your brain is like, well, this is the only way I can predict the outcome is if I mess it up completely. We can think about expectations more as the positive goal you're working towards, not how it's going to work out. Because really, we don't have much control over how anything works out other than how we think it's going to work out.
Yeah. Well, and something that's been sticking with me so much lately that you've said is that if you're dreading something or whatever, and it's, something that you don't have a whole lot of control over, it's going to happen when it happens, how it happens, whatever. If you spend all that time dreading it and then now you live it twice as many times as you would if you didn't stress about it. Like either the bad thing does happen and now you've lived it twice instead of once, or it doesn't happen and you lived it once instead of none. So either way, 2x the misery on whatever you're trying to dread. So being able to let go of some of those things, has
2x the
been
misery.
being able to let go of some of those has been probably one of the most powerful things, especially as you come into the end of a year and then you're going into the new year and we just marinate on all the bad,
Uh-huh.
which I know is something that we were talking about before we even went live. Your brain does that to protect you, which is something that you taught me. And like, it does that to protect you. You need to remember the bad things that happen to you so that you can avoid having them happen again in the future. But that means we have to be really intentional about the good things too. Like we did photo books for Christmas this year. And it was so great. Like I gave everybody a photo book. We passed them around. We like went through old photos from like long years past. Like I went back to like 2012, 2013, and like made a little book of photos, and it was the favorite present, hands down, all of it, because we got to sit back and look over the fun times
Yeah.
and remember
That
them.
also, just that moment of appreciation and gratitude will speed up the arrival of all the manifestations that are just in your orbit right now. Because as soon as you start sending out that signal that you're super duper grateful and you're having a good time and you're enjoying yourself and you are experiencing that little moment of ecstatic neurodivergent joy, the universe is like, oh, she's ready for it. Drop it in her lap. So, like, if we remember that gratitude is the fastest emotion to experience what we want, then of course, reflecting on the good things and imagining the future amazing things can only help you.
Yeah. Well, and that's another point that I haven't really thought about either with the negative stuff. Like, not only do we remember it longer, but we tend to marinate on it longer because we're trying to problem solve. So we spend more time thinking about it and working through it and all the different angles and all the different things where it's like a moment of joy. You're just like, hi, okay,
Yeah.
back to misery now. Thank you. That was good.
Yeah.
But
So
it's flip.
I didn't realize how often I ruminate on something I don't have an answer to until this Christmas. Somebody in my family who I don't talk to a lot got me a present, and I was very confused as to what it was. It was in a box that was this big, and it was real heavy, and it was round, and it was in like wrappers and stuff. It didn't look new though. It definitely looked like something they found at their grandparents' house or something. Anyways, and I pulled it out. I was like, oh, maybe it's like an onyx crystal ball or something like real crystal, beautiful thing. Cause everybody knows I love crystals. And it was a glass ball with a little glass holder. And I said, do you think this is a crystal ball? And for 2 days, instead of me just texting the person and being like, hey, what the hell is this? For 2 days, every time I walked in the kitchen and looked at that box, I said, do you think they really got me a crystal ball for Christmas? And my kids and my husband, every time I said it, would just laugh to themselves. And that's when I went, I must be harping on this because they're laughing every time I say this. And then that's when I made the connection that it's our black and white thinking, it's our justice seeking behaviors, it's the strong sense of justice and needing that closure, needing the answer. So if we don't have the answer, if it's not Googleable or we can't talk to the person, our brain just ruminates on it and plays it on repeat until we get an answer. And sometimes the answer is you're just never going to know.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that one. I hate not knowing. I want to know so bad. And especially when the knowing involves talking to a human to get the answer. And then I don't like the talking to humans part most of the time. Like, especially when you're not sure if you're going to like offend some social etiquette or some social rule that you historically struggle with anyway as a Neuro-Spicy. Like the amount of overthinking that we do and the energy drain and like I'm going to an event next week and you're helping me get ready for that. Like I'm going to be at Traffic and Conversion Summit. So if anybody watching this, if you see me there, I'm pretty easy to spot. I'm pretty easy to find. Take a picture with me and let's post it somewhere. Come up to me, come say hey, because I want to talk to people, but approaching people is a struggle. So I'm giving you an invite, even if you're Neuro-Spicy. It is okay to approach me. I'm asking you
Yeah.
to. So if you see me there, do that. But we were talking about how to prepare for that and just listing out all of the things I know I'm going to struggle with. It was like, good Lord, the energy that I put into this stuff is just unreal. Like, I know that I'm going to be talking to a lot of people and that's going to make my throat sore and that's going to be this. And then we know there's going to be noises and like, well, I have these headphones and these headphones and these headphones and these headphones, but each one has a particular problem. And it's like, oh, I don't know what to pack. And just trying to struggle through all of that is just oof. And like, even thinking through, I want to talk to humans, but how do I prepare myself for having conversations and not getting burnt out and being my weird little misfit gremlin of an entrepreneur and running around. And it was just the energy that we put into humaning is just no wonder we're drained.
Yeah. And it's
Like, oh,
hard with traveling, which is something that, you and I are doing. A lot of our students are going to be doing this year. A lot of our almost students that are coming into our wheelhouse and into our orbit are going to be doing. There's a reason why neurodivergent women tend to overpack. And that's because we're so sensory based. So, if I pack 6 different outfits for a 2-day trip, that's because I don't know how I'm going to feel tomorrow afternoon. I don't know how I'm going to feel when I want to go to sleep tomorrow night. I don't know how soft the sheets are going to be. I don't know how much time I'm going to need to recharge. I don't know what color I'm going to want to wear because I don't know which way I'm going to do my hair yet. So it's like, we have to have the options. And traditionally, I can't speak for everybody, but I can speak for myself. I was really shamed for a long time by a lot of people about how much stuff I want to bring with me where I go. They're like, you're so high maintenance. A, duh, what's wrong with that? And B, if I'm not comfortable, nobody's going to be having a good time.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you go to events to accomplish an objective, right? It's you're there because it's fun and you learn things and that's nice, but you're there to meet people and build connections and
Yeah.
there's so many things going on with that you have to deal with. And I mean, like, I'm already stressing about even like sleeping because I'm pretty sure I can't put Appa in my bag. Like, I'm not gonna have room for Appa. So he's a big stuffed flying bison. So anybody who watches Avatar, you know who Appa is, but he's this huge stuffed flying bison and he makes a perfect cuddle buddy, like to sleep with. And he won't fit. He's too big. So Appa's
That's
not gonna
how
be able to go.
that's me with my 20-pound weighted blanket. It's like, if it's not like when my husband and I were staying in a hotel a couple months ago for the khaki ball, I climbed in the bed just to like test it out, and I put the blanket on, and I was like, this is not a blanket. This isn't even a sheet. And he got under and he went, you're not gonna be able to sleep tonight. And I was like, God damn it, what the hell? So we from now on order a couple extra blankets and just put them on top of me with like a leg hanging out, and then that way I'm pinned and I'm able to sleep. Like my youngest son was the same way. He had to be swaddled, not his legs had to be free, but his arms had to be tied up. We practically were like lassoing him every single time that we wanted him to sleep, and it's just so nice and comforting. But you can't travel with a 20-pound weighted blanket, not yet anyways, not till we're flying private.
Yeah, I did figure out how to travel with my pillow most of the time. So I can usually take my pillow. I use those compression bags, like the vacuum bags. And it looks real fun when you don't have the little thing to suck the air out, little pump or whatever. So you're like sitting
Yeah.
here stepping on it and squishing it when you get at the hotel trying to get it back in. But I have figured out that works. So
You could just be friends with or real nice to one of the housekeeping ladies, and she might let you borrow her vacuum.
yeah, probably. But it's like I have started, being able to take my pillow most of the time, and I've got compression packing cubes this go around so that I can have my outfits with my accessories, with my everything, just like planned and ready to go, so that I
Yeah.
don't have to think about it quite as much. I'm only packing sensory safe clothing. I'm
Yes.
like even going round and round and round and marinating about footwear because I have some really cute little boots, but they have little heels on them, and then the heels will get to me by the end of the day, and then I won't want to walk as much, which means I won't talk as much, and just like the way your brain goes on like shoe choices and how they're going to impact my experience.
I'll tell you, I have only worn wide toe box sneakers of different styles, like a walking shoe that's thick, and then like this shoe that's got a real thin, whatever to it, like bottom sole. And those black sneakers with a wide toe box are what I wore to the khaki ball this year. And not one person remarked about my footwear, because you are not putting me in a heel
Yeah.
ever again, unless they are made for somebody whose feet are wider than her 6'1" husband's. I'm not doing it. These little toe sausages don't want to be there. It's not a good place for them. And I'm that type of autistic where if something hurts, that's the only thing I can focus on. I cannot get my attention anywhere else. If I have a headache, leave me alone. If I have a tummy ache, leave me alone. If my feet hurt, leave me alone. I can't be a kind person anymore.
Yeah, I've been hearing about dance heels, so I'm torn on dance heels or platforms because I'm 5'6" anyway, so I'm not short. I'm fine as far as height. But when you get to be that 6 foot tall chick walking around, striding around, there is nothing like it for a confidence boost. I
We never
like
knew.
being 6 foot tall walking around an event, and it only takes a short little heel to pull it off since I'm already pretty tall anyway. But when you don't wear heels on a regular basis, your feet and your hips and your back and your knees they're just not made for it. Just not made for it.
I
So
mean,
it's a stress trying to figure out what to wear.
I will also say when it comes to clothing breakthroughs in 2023 and 2024, compression clothing,
Oh, I know. When did we get so
top is
old?
compression. These
Compression.
yoga pants are compression. I don't wear like I don't need a bra anymore. I wear this nice compression top and it's comfortable and it holds everything up and in, and it makes it so much easier to live because we both have POTS. I got the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I got the mast cell activation syndrome. This body doesn't want to hold itself together, so it's helpful if I wear something that helps hold it together.
Yeah. Oh, I've got compression gloves. I've got wrist things. I've got compression socks. I've got, oh, it's like I didn't know we were at that age, but apparently when you hit 40, compression wear is like the go-to.
I mean, I'm
So
still
it's,
37. I'm going
yeah.
to put this on. I would be in a much better place if 20-year-old Melanie had been like, yeah, let's wear something that's a little tighter that wasn't like killing me with fashion. But I mean, they didn't have the kind of compression stuff back then when we were younger. It wasn't cute. It wasn't the rage.
No. Well, it's our generation starting to need it. So now we're like, hey, let's create it because nobody else has made it. So entrepreneurs, away we go, making new stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. By the way, another person joined our free dream level and they messaged me about it and they're so excited. And I'm going to go in there and check and see how they're doing. But that dream level, that free level, that workshop is really changing some people's lives.
Yeah, and it's going to keep growing. So if you're in that free level right now, we kind of approached it a little bit differently than a lot of people do. A lot of people make it where you opt in, you get like one course. If you want more, you have to opt in for more. You have to whatever. All of our free resources are behind one opt in. Like you can join the workshop or level one. Either way, as we add more stuff, it's a free membership. It's not just
Yeah.
a free course. It's you are a member. You can get in there and do stuff. We will continue adding to it. We are actively 2024 is the year we are building all of our knowledge into self-paced courses. So we've spent the last year, the academy actually turns a year old in 3 days.
Yeah.
So we spent the last year working really hard one-on-one with students, finding out where they're struggling and developing systems to design their business and get over the mindset hurdles so that they can actually build it and grow it and scale it. And so 2024 is the year for lots more courses, lots more options. We released the free tier and the cheap tier, which is on sale, which we extended the sale through the end of January.
Okay.
So we're gonna let you guys have that a little bit longer because that was, into the end of December. Everybody's busy, hectic. We're going into the new year, so if you want to lock that in, lock that in. The price will double once we get past the end of January. So it'll
Yeah.
go from 97 a month to 197. So lock that in. These courses we are not holding anything back. Even I'm like constantly like, do I really want to? That's a lot of information. Do we really want to make that available on this cheap tier and on this free tier? And it's like, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it anyway. Right. So there's a lot of knowledge in those. A lot of knowledge going into those tiers.
Yeah. And people are really feeling the pull or the push, the calling, if you will, to go all in on their business this year. We work with a lot of people that are still working their muggle job and then building their business. We have a lot of people that are now like, okay, I think my business is at a place where I can quit the muggle job, but that's a scary, 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 scary moment for people to be like, okay, there goes everything that is consistent in my life and everything that's predictable. And we always point out to people, your job is not predictable income because it could fucking close tomorrow. I've worked in restaurants for many, many years and had numerous restaurant owners that were like corporate walk in on a Sunday night and say, we're not opening tomorrow. So really the only thing that is guaranteed is your effort and energy that you're going to pour into your service-based business that is going to, impact your community and change lives.
Yeah. Well, and we approach it differently than anything else because like I've been a business owner for almost 2 decades at this point. I've been part of multiple masterminds from free ones to 20 and 30,000 a year masterminds. And we kept seeing consistent problems over and over and over and over. People would be building like one business trying to use tactics. That was a really common one. Like they would see somebody talking about running webinars or running life challenges or this videos on YouTube or videos on and that was like the thing. This was the thing that was going to change everything for this year. But their underlying business model was broken, right? There's lots of people right now buying these social planners full of contents and templates and inspiration for the whole 365 days. I'm seeing so many of those ads come up on my Facebook page. When you try and use tactics to determine what you should sell and who you should sell it to, that doesn't work. right? You got to have that underlying kind of concept for your business, who you are, who you sell to, how they benefit from it, what it is you're actually selling. Then you can plug tactics in and have
Yeah.
those tactics work. And a lot of people are using, go figure, tools that marketers are creating for marketing to try and design their business, right? Because
Yeah.
marketers are trying to use these tools to document what is. So when you've got marketers creating tactics like, what to post on social media, how often to post, which channels to post, what content to post, they are using avatars and before after grids and customer value journey worksheets to document what is. Who are
Yeah.
you selling to? What do you sell? Those aren't business design tools
Yeah.
to help you answer those questions. So we address that. We're
Yeah.
addressing actually designing your business the right way, designing it around you. A lot of the stuff that I do to teach people how to design their business is heavily influenced by what you do to make sure that they can actually do it, right?
Yeah.
Because you're helping them with their mindset. So anybody who's coming over here from my feed that has not met Melanie yet, she's not as active on Facebook. So if you haven't met her yet, she is a neurodivergent mindset coach for neurodivergent entrepreneurs. So she really helps you. She's been my coach for the last little over a year now and has unlocked. I don't think I've ever been this happy. I
Yeah.
love my business. I love what I do. I love who I'm helping. I love how we're doing things. So a lot of what she teaches to make it sustainable, to make it where you're actually enjoying it, that stuff was baked into what I do in business design as well, and it was heavily influenced by it. So we're
Yeah.
we're building a business around the entrepreneur, not
Yeah.
saying here's a franchise business model, plug it in and here you go, right? Like that's not what we're doing. We're saying what's going to make you happy. We have
Yeah.
students doing everything from software services to we have one that launched a cult because it fits her brand. If you know her, it makes total sense. So that was
It's
probably
a
one of the
membership. It's not a cult, but she calls it a cult, but it's not like culty. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's a membership community, but the vibe is to poke fun at the normal, to poke fun at, things that normally are unfun pokeable or however you would say that. But so it fits her. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's just an example of designing something that around an entrepreneur that makes them happy and planning for multiple revenue streams.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't just have the one, you have a shopping list of who to go partner with. Like these own strategies are what brought the academy to life in the first place because I have a shopping list of what my people that I'm trying to work with and help need, and mindset is one of them. So shopping list wise, Melanie helps. She can help my people get where they need to go. So that makes sense. And you can do the same thing with yours.
Yeah.
You're able to go find and identify those partners. So if you're planning your events and your travel and what you're trying to do this year and who you're trying to network with, imagine going into an event with a shopping list of who you
Yeah.
need to, you know, and how they're going to.
Imagine every time you said to yourself, okay, I'm going to film content for my social media, you knew exactly who you were talking to and exactly what you were going to talk about.
Yeah, because we actually teach that. That's in that $97 a month course in that membership tier. I'm teaching you exactly. You will have so many ideas for content that you won't know what to do with. You'll
Yeah.
know exactly which social channels fit you. You're not going to get burned out, stressed out producing content. You're going to know what types of content to produce. You're going to have your website relaunch, your social media relaunch. You're going to go in, talk about planning, right? So many people are buying planners and stuff right now, trying to plan for the new year. But it's like, I'm going to post on social media more. It's not, how am I going to post on social media more? They're not answering that question. They're setting an impossible goal with no idea of how they're going to achieve it. Like, I'll figure
Yeah.
it out. I'm just going to be more active and we'll post daily. And 3 months later, that fails. You're not
Yeah.
able to do that.
Three
So we
months,
approached it.
3 weeks. Are you
Being
kidding
a
me?
little
I mean,
optimistic.
and I love to see that optimism in people, but this is something I saw another creator talking about the other day, especially for neurodivergent people. Don't create an achievement-based resolution. You want to create an accommodation-based resolution. So instead of saying, I'm going to post on social media 5 days a week, you're going to say, I am going to ask for help before I start drowning.
Yeah.
You're going to say, I am going to take the steps to get more comfortable posting on social media. Because if you're not super stoked about posting on social media, like I'm always excited to create content. And if I'm not excited to create content, I'm just not going to create content that day. But there are people like you and other people at the Neuro-Spicy Academy and a lot of the one-on-one clients that I take that just don't like it. It's just not their thing. And there's mindset blocks around it, and there's bad memories about around it, and there's ideals that you have about social media that, you know, especially depending on the generation, but Gen X for sure, the generation that's older than us, Gen X for sure has a bad taste in their mouth about social media, the large majority of them, because as it was coming up in the world and MySpace was becoming a thing and then Facebook becoming a thing and all that sort of stuff, it was characterized by sharing everything about yourself. And I remember 15 years ago, if that was how long it was, I don't know, when MySpace was a thing, and I felt bad for people who every picture on their MySpace was a selfie of themselves. It's like, oh, look how sad, they never go to parties, they're always by themselves. And now every picture that I have is me taking a picture of myself.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So we really
like,
got to think about why, like, I'm posting on social media for my business. I'm not posting to tell you about my life.
well, and I mean, that's another like perfect example of having a tactic driven business versus a strategy driven business. Because people
Yeah.
tell you, post on social media, you can't post too often. You need to be posting every day. You need to be posting this. If you're not making videos, you're not going to succeed. If you're not writing blog articles, your website will never rank. If you're not like, there is, I don't know how many marketers, and I used to be one. So I'm a recovering marketer. Hello, my name is Christina. And you know, we push these tactics because they work. They worked in one situation for one type of person for one type of thing, and cool. You know, somebody might be like, I'm going to run 5-day challenges, and they launch their first one. Like I interviewed somebody that did this, and you know, they're a good friend of mine, and it was $140,000 in sales on their first challenge. It's like, oh, I need to run challenges. Challenges are so great. Woo! But he spent a very long time building a very niche community and had an extra offer to sell them, right? So when you get into why that tactic worked, it was because the underlying business model was good.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, somebody else who doesn't have that, you know, underlying business model, who isn't, you know, doesn't have this like user base of all these great fit clients and stuff that they can identify a need and then fill the need and then launch something to fill the need, it doesn't work. Right. They
Yeah.
they try and run a challenge and they're like, crickets, nobody came. I must be terrible and not as good as them because I didn't create, you know, I knew I wouldn't do 140,000, but you know, 10 would have been nice. And
Yeah.
you know, when they're like they blame themselves for why it didn't work. And it's not, I mean, it is their fault, I guess, in some ways, because you should fix your business model first. But most people don't know that. Wow. The dogs are
Animal,
gonna go get it. I don't know what it is, but they're gonna go get it. So we're good.
we're safe.
Yeah, we're all good. They're protecting me. I'm upstairs in my castle.
We're safe. That's funny. I was just watching an older episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and they were in Lake Tahoe at a beautiful home. And the owner of the manager of the home was like, anybody who sleeps on the first floor has to go through bear training because this is the floor where bears can get in the house. So we have to make sure everybody closes the doors and whatnot. And I said, well, my dreams are going to be crazy tonight. So yeah, you
Uh,
know, there's things you just don't think about. But the Real Housewives have really taught me a lot about accommodations, because there's a lot of Real Housewives that are running businesses, running their families. Yes, they have the added benefit of lots of money and partners and whatnot that help them with things and exposure, but they got to where they're at because they took consistent driven action towards what they want. And consistency does not mean you're giving it 100% every single day, because that's impossible. Consistency just means you're showing up every day at your capacity. And you have to be able to recognize that fluctuating capacity so that we can stop that burnout. You came to me burned out. You came to
oh
me and
yeah,
said, help, I'm broken. I don't know what to do.
yeah. Well, and it's
And
funny
now,
because it's like all the things I were focused on that I was focused on were all of the wrong things. Like I'm even about to update one of the course that I came to you because I couldn't make myself build it. Like I'm about to just delete it. Like, it's just about to be gone from my website because it's already been replaced. It's already been updated. It's accessible to students in the academy. We've already refilmed new versions of it and all that. But like I couldn't even get one course recorded. Now we're sitting here recording dozens and dozens of lessons, multiple courses. We're approaching it a little differently, right? But I was so burned out. I was so burned
yeah,
out. I couldn't make myself sit here and do it.
yeah,
And that's not a way to live at all. I was stressed out, drowning in everything that I wasn't doing, all the deadlines I was missing, all the everything I was missing. And that is just no way to live. It's just no way to live at all. Now I'm just like, if we get it done before, like, I have never approached a trip with such zen.
yeah.
Like as soon as I started talking about it, because I wasn't going to go, and I kind of decided, the universe lined up with all the things that needed to happen in order for me to be able to go without being stressed. And I was like, okay, cool, I'll go. Here, heard, I'm going. And one of the very first things I said was I looked at my husband and I was like, so I have a lot of stuff I need to get done. I'm going to pare it down to minimum viable. So I'm going to make a list of everything that I would like to get done. Then I'm going to pull it down to the stuff that I absolutely have to get done. These are like non-negotiables. And I'm not going to do anything for 2 days before I leave because I'm not going to leave burned out.
Yeah.
How many of us panic and stress and all the things to prepare for a trip and to make sure everything is squared away and that we have everything we need. And like by the time it's time to leave, you're like ready to just be like, I need a vacation from preparing to go on vacation kind of.
Uh-huh.
This is a business event, not a vacation thing, but still like we can't exist in that level of stress. Like just setting a realistic, I didn't get everything I was trying to get done today done, but that's okay. I made progress.
Yeah.
Progress. And when
Yeah.
you one of the biggest symptoms of your business model being wrong, either wrong for you or wrong in general, is you were in constant launch mode. You were constantly like, if I can just get this one thing done, everything will get better. If I get this thing done, everything will get better. And then you eventually get that thing done, you push yourself to crazy. And then by the time you got it done, there's no energy left to promote it, to improve it, to iterate it. And when you fail, you're just stuck trying to find the next thing. You're like, well, that thing didn't work like I thought it would. So now I need to
Mhm.
find another thing. So you're in this cycle of this next big thing will be the thing, right? When really the only thing that that's true for is when you join the academy. And that is the last thing. Because then we walk you through consistent progress. Like one of the biggest feedbacks we've got from students that is honestly one of my favorites is I've never felt so sure about what I needed to do.
Yes.
And like that's even true for me. Like I was building all of this stuff, and drinking your own Kool-Aid's always the hardest thing. We poke fun at that all the time, the mechanic with the junker car, and drinking your own Kool-Aid, practicing what you preach, all these things is always so hard. And I made myself sit down and do it, or rather Melanie and my other partner Victoria made me sit down and do it. And now I know exactly what I'm doing. I have never had so much clarity. Like I see exactly what our students are saying. Like
Yeah.
I've never had so much clarity. I know what I am doing for the next like probably 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't know all the details, all the nitty gritties, but I know my path. I
Yeah.
know where I'm heading. I know what I expect to have happen. I know what signs and signals will indicate that it is happening like it should, or that it is not. Maybe we need to make some adjustments, but I have a plan,
Yeah.
right? That little, I'm telling you guys, whew, that not to like toot our own horn, but what is happening in that $97 a month tier right now over in the build tier level 2, that y'all are, I've never seen anything like it. I've
Yeah.
never seen anything at that price.
Yeah.
Never seen anything with that much detail, that much thought put into it, that much organization put into it. And I know I'm kind of tooting our own horn here, but it's
And it's
amazing.
different because we're treating the entrepreneur. We're not treating just the business. We're not treating just the marketing. We're not treating just the mindset, right? We're treating, if you are healthy, the business can be healthy. If you are thriving, the business will be thriving. Those two things are energetically aligned and cannot happen without each other. But if you are sitting here struggling and surviving, how many people do we know are not out here living? They're alive, but they're not living. They're just struggling. They're getting through. They're going through the motions. They're dissociated and detached. I didn't realize how often I was disassociating until I quit drinking a year and 2 months ago. And I went, wow. Like, I don't even remember taking showers in the only bathroom that we had when we bought this house because we had to add another bathroom. And I had to shower in that bathroom for 2 months. And I have no memory of showering in that bathroom because I was so disassociated, going through the motions, trying to just live in this life that I had not designed for my sensory needs. And it shows. And now I look back on pictures of myself and there's like no light behind my eyes. So if you think about like, the reason you started the business and the reason that you wanted to work for yourself and have these different streams of income and stuff is so that you could enjoy your life and do the things that you want to do. You didn't start a business so you were working 80 hours a week. You didn't start a business so that you'd be a gazillionaire. Yes, the money is nice, but there's that saying that's going all around social media. You think you want money, and I'll say, okay, here's $1 million. You want it? And you say, absolutely $1 million. Say, okay, but you die tomorrow. And you go, no. It's money and time that I want. I say, okay, I'll give you $1 million. You live for a very long time. But you're in poor health. And you go, no, I want to be able to enjoy it. So I want a lot of money and I want a lot of time and I want to be able to enjoy myself. You say, okay, I'm going to kill everybody that you love. And you go, no, okay. So I want a lot of money. I want a lot of time and I want to feel really good. And I want to spend time with the people that I love. So you really got to take that step back and go, where are the barriers to all four of those things? And then fix those things and keep adjusting as needed, not like you say, launch a new thing and scroll Instagram and grab somebody's freebie that says it's going to fix all your problems. Why would one freebie fix all your problems? If that were the case, there'd be no personal development industry.
Yeah, that's that whole tactic chasing thing. Somebody tells you that if you have a lead magnet, you build an email list. And if you have an email list, you can do this, that, and the other thing. And I cannot tell you how many people have massive email lists or Facebook groups that are basically a ghost town of the wrong people. Right? They're like, I don't know what to do with this because it's not connected to what I'm doing now. Or, I have no idea. I've had that email list for so long and I know I don't send them any emails and I don't even know how many people are active and how many, those are all solvable problems. But why don't we just not build a list full of crappy people in the first place? How much time and energy goes into doing that, right? That's why one of the things that we teach is my avatar matrix, which is a business design tool, right? So again, most of the time you're trying to use marketing tools to design your business. So you're doing, avatar grids and before after canvases and customer value journey mapping. And like all of these things are designed to document what is, not what should be, right?
Yeah.
So you need business design tools to design your business. You don't need to hijack marketing tools and try and, it's like trying to, take a bike pump and blow up a car tire. It's not going to work well. Yeah, they fundamentally kind of look like they do the same thing on the surface, but you go hook a bike pump up to your car tire, it's probably not going to work like you want it to.
Or it's going to take a lot longer than you want it to.
Yeah, like I don't want to be sitting there pumping that for that long. Like, ooh, that'd be painful. But when you have the right tools in place to design what you should be selling, how you should be positioning yourself, who you should be selling it to, and what they actually need, that avatar canvas, it becomes a shopping list for the products and services you need to create. It becomes a shopping list for the people that you need to talk to and collect. It becomes a shopping list for, the different partnerships that you can build because you're looking at a human on a journey and saying, what do you need to get where you're trying to go better, faster, and with a greater chance of success? Well, you need what I do, but you also need what this person does and what this person does and what this person does and what this person does. And now you can go shopping. And you can say like, hey, my people need you and your people likely need me. Let's work something out. What can we do? Let's do something together. Let's promote each other together. That'll grow your business faster than anything else. But you can't do that until you know who your human is and you know the unique little corner of the world that you fit into. So when you're talking to another human, you can be like, this is what I do. Tell me about what you do. And let's talk about what our clients need and how what we do can plug in together.
Yeah.
You need that clarity if you're going to be able to do those things. You're not going to be these entrepreneurs with these huge leveraged partnerships full of people if you don't know the answers to those things. If you can't very clearly articulate what you do and the benefit that you say. And it's not what you sell, it's who you are.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I could say, oh, I'm a website developer. Cool. But you're not going to be doing that forever. If you actually grow your business, you're not ever going to build a website again. You're going to have a staff of people that build websites, but you're going to be an expert in what websites can do for people.
Yeah.
Right. So that becomes the difference. Like my little elevator pitch, and you'll learn to create one of these when you're in that, that level 2 of the academy as well. I'll walk you through specifically how to create these statements. My little statement is, I help people design businesses that change lives, theirs and their clients. Right. That's simple. That's simple. That's what you're looking for because you invite curiosity and you're not pivoting. You shouldn't be pivoting all the time. I can launch whole new businesses, whole new ventures, whole new products and services that are all aligned to that mission of helping people design businesses that change lives.
Yeah.
And I don't have to change who I am. I stay who I am.
Yeah. It's true. It's very true.
A little bit of a soapbox there for a minute, but
I mean, it's a true real thing. And we've seen some of our students have seen a great what's the word? she got into a joint venture partnership with somebody that she really liked and really enjoyed. They were friends, and then they decided to create this book that also uses the power of AI. And she was still working with me one-on-one when this partnership sort of started, and she didn't really realize that it was a partnership yet, because that happens a lot of the time. You don't go into something being like, hey partner, let's do this one thing. It grows organically. And I said, is this your first joint venture? And she went, it is. And I said, you don't say. And it takes so much stress off of you as the entrepreneur to be the sole person that has to show up. It's like that analogy that people use of, if you have a friend that's going to start working out with you and you are agreeing to meet your friend at the gym at 6 a.m. every day, you're a lot more likely to go and be there to show up, because you don't want to be a shitty friend. If you're in a joint venture partnership with somebody, you are more likely to do the things that you need to do on time and do them well, because you do have another person who's showing up for you too.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's happened over here at the academy. You've held me accountable to deadlines. You've helped me set deadlines. We've talked about what we wanted to do together, and we've released those. Victoria's doing the same thing with me over at Sparkative as my fractional COO over there, and helping me with that kind of stuff. And then I'm in talks with another guy, James, to build out our high level offering to support our students, right? So that's something that this framework and the way we teach things really unlocks, that I just cannot. It is so powerful. It is so powerful because I'm recognizing that, our students need to build websites and build funnels. And the way I teach you to build websites and build funnels can be templatized. And well, if it can be templatized, then I could make it faster, easier, and give you a greater chance of success at building and launching a good website if we have high levels. So we have it, but I'm also busy and I don't have time. So I'm partnering with somebody else to expand that offer. So it's really easy when you recognize what your people need and you're able to plug something else in. So you have an existing audience. That's the real power. When people are telling you that you need to build a massive email list, and when you have an email list, you can create offers left and right and you can just print money. The reason that succeeds is because all of the offers that you launch are aligned with the existing list you already have.
Yeah.
You're solving a problem or creating an opportunity for the audience you have. You're not trying to build a new one every time you launch something.
Yeah. And systemizing stuff really helps, especially for those of us who are building their team and starting to hire full-time employees, and not just, go into Fiverr to get people to support you here and there. You really have to think about your SOP. And the reason that you have a standard operating procedure is because that's what makes the most sense. If the SOP doesn't make sense, nobody's going to follow it. So if you start streamlining and systemizing your life, right? I'm a high maintenance girly. I like a full face of makeup. Drag queens are my inspiration. I like to put my big long hair in. This is not all mine, but it is designed and created by me. And, I like the outfits that I wear. I like the social media that I create, all that sort of stuff. But I've had to streamline it so that it makes sense for me to do this. Because if I were just letting my ADHD run the show and getting distracted by all the things that it wants to get distracted by and trying to do 15 things at once, it would take me 4 hours to do this look instead of the 1 hour that it does take. Now, I just saw on social media, Rob Deerdick, the guy who does ridiculousness. He was like a skateboard guy, and then he got real big on MTV or whatever. He's a very phenomenal entrepreneur, so I'm going to be doing more research into him. But he has systemized every part of his life. He makes like $50 million a year or some shit with his show, but he only spends a 16th of the year filming it, but it's enough episodes for the entire year. So him and his team have figured out how to systemize, strategize, and get everything done. Bing, bang, boom. So he can go hang out with his fucking family.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we teach you the underpinnings of all of that to be able to do that. Like, even in that 97 tier, we're teaching you how to identify the type of content that you can create the easiest without burning out. We teach you how to identify which social channels you're actually going to enjoy and what content that your audience actually needs, because social media is micro learning, right? As an entrepreneur, what you're helping your audience do is micro learn. You're taking this big, massive knowledge that you have and you're breaking it up into little bitty bits. So every time they encounter you, they have an aha moment of some kind. Might be a little one, something that you think is, a nothing. You've known it for a decade, who cares? But you take it and you reduce it to micro learning. So we teach you all of that so that you can take that and you can produce that content and build that SOP to make content consistently without stressing yourself out. Because SOPs help us delegate, but they also help us reduce the like mental calorie load to do a task. Right. Because
Yes.
anytime, everything that you go to do from the time you wake up till the time you go to bed, and even trying to go to bed and fall asleep, you're expending mental calories, physical calories, and emotional calories.
Yeah.
Right. So if we can reduce the mental, physical, and emotional consumption of tasks, it's a lot easier to get them done. So SOPs help you, even while you're
Yeah.
small and you're just you, but then you're able to hire someone else. So you get that
Yeah.
SOP down, you follow it a few times, you can hire someone else who's not necessarily a super skilled person. Like if
Yeah.
you're trying to, maybe video content's your jam, you can spit out videos like Melanie can, super fast, super easy. But you also want to repurpose those videos into blog articles and emails and
Yeah.
written posts for Facebook, or things along those lines. So having that documentation for, this is what I can produce the easiest. This is what I do without stressing out. I can make TikTok videos all day long, right? If that's your vibe, cool, do that. And then once a week, take all of your posts that you did and go repurpose them into other stuff, and then eventually hire someone else to do that for you. So we teach you all of that in the academy too. It's in those courses that we're launching right now. So
Yeah.
every step you need to be able to do all that is already there. We give academy students a really good discount on our high level resale offer as well, with that we're currently building out with lots more templates, lots more things. But that helps you schedule your social posts. It helps you keep track of your website, do all your stuff very affordably every month as well. So lots of cool stuff there. Lots of cool things happening. I love how many levels of support and guidance that we've baked in all the way around. Like even on level 3, you get our virtual campus that you can come to 24/7. Even on the
Yeah.
97 level 2 tier, we're going to invite you onto campus a couple times a month to come hang out with the rest of the students that are a little bit further up.
And the
So
Slack channel has been tremendously helpful because you can get a hold of a lot of people weird times of the day when that Slack message goes out to their phones and they're still awake.
yep. Yeah. Melanie's an early bird. I am a late one. So we might both be up at, 3 in the morning because she just woke up and because I just went to bed. Like, or I'm about to go to bed.
You're not wrong. But no, my wake ups have been 5 a.m. lately, and I've been very much enjoying how much time I have for transitions throughout my day when I do wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah, I'm going to be moving into waking up earlier. I cannot promise that 5 a.m. will be the arrival destination for waking up earlier, but I'm going to be moving to trying to wake up earlier, mostly because science. I've been fine with a late wake up girly. Like I usually wake up somewhere around 9 on average, and get my day really rolling by like 11. Have me a nice slow morning, answer some emails, answer some messages, do some support in the Slack group, things along those lines, and then hit the day running after that. But science, you're supposed to get better sleep if you fall asleep earlier.
It's not
So
supposed to, it's true. Andrew Huberman has a lot of episodes about that and the quality of sleep and what really happens. And, the what's the term that I want to use? The most natural and holistic way to get your body back into a rhythm of going to bed early and then waking up early in the morning. Because if your goal is a 5 a.m. wake up or a 6 a.m. wake up, that means that the bedtime has to be earlier too, because you can't go to bed at midnight and wake up at 5 a.m. and expect to be a productive human. It's physically impossible. That's how we burn out, right? And I did it for years. So I'm the one that can sit here and tell you the science proves that's how you hurt yourself. So
Well, and if you're
instead
a
of
late
thinking that,
riser like I am, I'm going to tell you right now, the way to become a 5 a.m. person is not going to be to just start waking up at 5 a.m. So just like,
no,
I don't care what time I go to bed. If I just force myself to wake up early and get up and get moving, it'll be a
no,
shitty day. So I'll just do it on a weekend when I can have a shitty day. And then, I'll recover. I'll be so tired. I'll have to go to bed early. Like that strategy does not work. You cannot punish yourself into
yeah.
doing something good for you. It's not going to work. Not going to work.
You
Right.
can't hate yourself into being a better person. If that were the case, then I wouldn't have a business.
Wow, yeah, that would be that's a writer downer right there. You can't hate yourself into being a better person. That is a really good one. Yeah, you can't, and you can't. Another writer downer that Melanie says a lot that's similar that came to mind for me was like, you can't expect other people to know how to take care of you if you're not setting that standard. I think you say it better than I do, but if you're not demonstrating what taking care of you looks like, this is what I need to be happy, this is what I need to be well adjusted, you can't expect anybody else to do that. Right? Like, it is taking me a couple of months to get my family adjusted to, how I like, this is what I need right now. And, let me know if that's okay. Like, I need you to tell me if you need something. I need to quit expending energy trying to guess what you need and what you need help with. And like, I walked my husband through like something as stupid as like, is the upstairs too cold for you? Because he's a cold baby. He gets cold very easy. He likes to be outside in the hot, does not like the cold. And, I like it like 68 while I'm sleeping. So I let the upstairs get a little colder. So I was like, I was watching him to see if he was shivering or a little bit cold, or if I needed to bump it up, like when the weather's cold outside and I need to bump it up to like 69, 70. He has access to the thermostat. It is a smart thermostat. He can even pull it up from his phone. Doesn't even have to get it out from under the covers. And it was like a month of me telling him, you do not understand. Let me walk you through everything that I'm paying attention to from the time we came upstairs to determine if I need to adjust the heat for you. Like, this isn't something I need to put energy on. This isn't where my brain needs to spend time.
Yep.
I need to be working on what's going to make me comfortable so that I can go to bed. And I need to trust that you're going to do the same for you and not sacrifice you to try and make. He's like, but you don't like it when it gets too hot. And I'm like, I will be fine. I am telling you, go up to like 70, 71, and I will be fine.
Yeah.
It will be okay. I might not be underneath the blanket.
Yeah.
I may have a separate blanket, but I will adjust.
I just sat my kids and my husband down to dinner a couple of years ago and said, listen, I am perfectly happy to help you whenever you need help, but it's no longer my responsibility to know when that is. So I will be over here taking care of myself so that when you do need help and you come to me and you say, hey, I need your help and support, I'm able to provide that. But I'm a psychic, I'm not a mind reader. And there's the amount of, if you think about ourselves as an iPhone or a smartphone, certain apps take way more bandwidth than other apps. So to constantly have music playing in the background, watching a show, I'm casting off to over here, I got a Bluetooth going over here, I got this going on over here, that's going to drain my battery.
Yeah.
As opposed to,
when you first told me that, my first thought was, how freaking selfish. Now you're making them have to worry about you. And that was my first thought. And then I was like, I couldn't get past that. And then I finally realized, I was like, that's programming. We were taught, especially females, we were taught to care about everybody else's stuff. We were taught that everybody else has to be happy. Like, if it's a holiday and you're doing celebrations, and we have to make sure that everybody else is fed. Then as ADHDers and autistics, part of the way that we cope with social situations is to keep ourselves busy. We need to be doing something. So we tend to be like people pleasing the entire time. And what kind of changed for me was realizing that, and then realizing that I'm actually doing my kids a service by teaching them how to ask for what they need.
Yep.
How to recognize and ask, instead of me being in a constant, because they're not going to have another person in their life. Once they're like out in the world on their own, there's not going to be this person hovering around anticipating their needs and anticipating their problems and trying to preemptively solve them all of the time. They need to be able to ask for what they need from a partner, from a spouse, from a friend, and you'd be able to say, like, look, I am burned out right now. If you want to come over and hang out under some blankets with some snacks and watch a show, like, we can do that, but I'm not going out and partying tonight. Like, that's not
we have to learn how to take care of ourselves. Like, we have to learn what it is that recharges you, what it is that drains you, what it is. Like 50 Cent said this the other day on a piece of social media. He goes, I just took a step back and I leaned back and I looked around and I noticed everybody that was withdrawing from my life, and I noticed everybody that was making deposits in my life, and there was a lot more people that were making withdrawals. So I stopped reaching out to them first. I stopped being, the point of contact for all of that, and I started investing myself into the people that were investing in me. And what people don't tell you about that is that it's scary and it's a little shitty that you lose a lot of people in your life. But then I also heard you will never lose a friend. You will only lose a secret hater.
Oh, I've been fine. I just figured out how to see the comments from the people that are watching our live.
What's happening?
I've had comments going this whole time. Like, the first one was like 45 minutes.
Sorry, guys. New here.
We will be going live more frequently, y'all, so we will get to handle this and we'll do it a lot more. But
Make
yeah,
sure you're following
Yari
us
was
on
like
TikTok.
laughing about your crystal ball. She's like, I find it very comforting to know that the people I travel with, when I do, aren't expecting me to dress a certain way. It allows me to just really pack my comfy clothes no matter what event we'll be attending. It's fair.
Yeah.
Claudine, yeah, old compression stuff was fugly.
Yeah.
Yes, Neuro-Spicy Academy. So yeah, we've got several of our students here. This is awesome. Claudine was like, for everyone out there, these ladies are incredible. Oh, thank you, Claudine. I've been working with them at the academy, and their guidance and support has been amazing. They've helped me get real and clear on what I want to do and how I want to do it, as well as getting real about my own internal roadblocks and how to unblock them. Yeah, that sums up that's what the academy is meant to do. Get you real clear, get you real focused, help you get where you're trying to go faster, easier, greater chance of success. And I teach you to do the same. Like, Victoria chimed in, mindset is critical to success. Multimillionaires and billionaires invest heavily in mindset. Yeah, I just have to like, yes to that so hard. And Melanie can tell you, I hate mindset work. I hate mindset. I hate that it is a requirement for success. I very much feel like if I could just work harder, if I could work on the right thing, if I could just fill in the blank with anything, mindset wouldn't matter. It doesn't matter if I don't like it. It doesn't matter if I don't want to do it. I can just do it. Right. And I'm going to tell you right now that I was so wrong about that. I was so wrong about that. I'm still recovering from that mindset. I'm definitely still recovering from it. Claudine, like, yeah, we've seen some stuff. Back to mindset again. Yeah. Victoria, critical point. If you were healthy, the business can be healthy and vice versa. Yup. And interesting stuff, you two. What are you using to stream this to Facebook? We are using Zoom. We will eventually go to like Restream or StreamYard and stream to more platforms. But again, fast, uncomfortable action. I've never used Zoom to stream to Facebook before. Cool, let's do it the first time. It'll work. It gets the job done. The only limitation to Zoom seems to be that it can't stream to more than one at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like you can have Facebook or you can have YouTube, or I think there's one or two other ones.
My husband's home with the soda pops.
Yeah, I love Claudine echoed that you'll never lose a friend, you will only lose a secret hater. Okay, I think we're caught up on comments now. But
yeah, no, that one thing, it really
that
rang me for a loop.
Yeah. So y'all can leave questions, you can leave comments, you can leave anything. If you're watching right now, I can now see your comments, so we will actually respond to you while you're talking.
We are also going to make this available. I don't see why not on my YouTube channel and your YouTube channel, because I mean, it's there. Let's make sure we're posting there consistently.
Well, and teasing out a little bit that we're about to launch a live show as well. So we will be going live every single week, at least once a week, maybe a couple times, to be determined on the finer points of the details. That is on I will figure all the details out when I get back from out of town list. But we are going to be going live. We are going to bring students onto our live show every week. We are going to be answering questions. So even if you're in like the free tiers and the 97 build tier, and you're not getting as much access to like campus and Slack as you do on the higher tiers, that's fine. We will be accessible to you through email, through text message, as well as, going live on a regular basis. And I will have all those details coming out soon. But we're going to be bringing guests in to share nuggets because, again, what I'm teaching is a foundational framework, right? It's getting your business right, and I'm teaching you some of the tactics. But we know there are experts in like TikTok marketing and LinkedIn marketing and email marketing. We're going to be bringing those people in to talk to you and share those nuggets on some more of the detailed deep dives on different aspects of things. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure that like if you're not on our email list, if you have not opted in for at least the free tier, right? Like get in on the free tier, get all the goodies that are over there, get on our email list so that you get notified when we do new things, because we will be doing new things. But yeah, I'm excited about that. I don't even think I told you, me and you talked about that a little bit, but we actually like firmly decided that is a good plan. Victoria gave me the thumbs up on I can put energy into that in the next month or two. So we will be launching.
I'm happy to create a live show. I'll start talking to chat about a name. I'll start talking to chat about concept. I'm ready. I like going live. This is my favorite thing.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's like going live drains me a little bit more, but I know there's a lot of good to it, and being able to bring on, again, with the partnerships, right? Because like if I'm out of town or I just don't feel like it one week, right? I have partners that can co-host or host. So you'll see me, you'll see Melanie, you'll see Victoria, you'll see some of our other guests and partners that are in our network, some of our students coming on and talking about things and sharing what they're doing, what their business is, and get to kind of hopefully follow along in those journeys a little bit. I have a couple of students in mind in particular that I want to drag out here and show you guys. Joe is definitely one of them. Y'all need to
Yeah.
see her cult. It is fantastic.
Yeah, I'll be going live with Joe tomorrow afternoon on TikTok at 4:30. So make sure you're following me on TikTok. It's Melanie Fixes Mindsets, and it's the one with 200 and some thousand followers, not any of the fake accounts that are out there. Be careful. Don't get scammed on social media. I will never message you first about a reading.
Yeah, same. I'm not going to be messaging you trying to peddle my services. If you want me, go get on the list, right?
Yeah,
Like we'll get there.
yeah.
But yeah, neither one of us is going to chase you down and try and sell you something you don't need. I don't want you even buying something you don't need. That is no fun. Don't buy something you don't need from anybody.
Seriously.
Definitely not people pretending to be us. Like,
Seriously.
so even me who doesn't post this consistently on social media, I got my first scammer the other day trying to pretend to be me,
Yeah.
copying all my stuff. Yeah, and that again is something else that we teach you. Is like these negative moments sometimes are actually a good thing, right? If somebody is copying your stuff and trying to pretend to be you, that means you're worth pretending to be like, right? So
I
you've
had
done
a
something
client
right.
the other day. I have a realization. She messaged me about it on Marco Polo. She said, so I've been sending emails out consistently and I've been posting in my Facebook group consistently, and people are unfollowing and unsubscribing every time I do it. So you told me that was a good thing because that means my message is very clear. And I said, it absolutely is a good thing. Your message is very clear and you're targeting the right people because the wrong ones are just phasing themselves out.
Yep. That's exactly how you need to do it. So that's one of the things that we teach you is like things that would normally be stressful or, they can be signs of success. And it really is just how you approach it. It
Yeah.
really is just how
Mindset.
you think about it, like if it's, a negative to some people, and some people will literally let it scare them away. They're like,
Yeah.
oh no, people are stealing my content on social media. That means that, I'm going to lose all my stuff. And they get all upset about it and they let it, sign them into this little hole where they quit posting anymore. And it's like, no, post more.
There's
Post
really
more.
nothing original anymore. Everything has been regurgitated and changed at some point. When I first came up with the idea of systems instead of routines a year and a half ago, however long ago it was, two other creators of a pretty decent size came up with you need rhythms instead of routines. And then the other one said you need something instead of routines. Like they were blatant plays on exactly what I was talking about, like even to the way they were delivering the message. And I just said, okay, I mean, thank you. And people would actually go comment, this sounds an awful lot like Melanie Fixes Mindsets. And I was like, you guys are the best. Thank you so much.
Yeah, David even pointed that out to me. So David, my husband, for people who don't know, even mentioned the other day, he was like, the longer you wait to start putting this stuff out there, the more time you're giving for somebody else to take it and potentially grow a bigger following and a bigger audience using your stuff than what
Yeah,
you did. So once you have it and you start putting it out there in the world, you don't need to slow down. You need to speed
yeah,
up
yeah,
because like it's not somebody else stealing your stuff isn't generally going to work as well as you the creator, right?
yeah,
Because the unique combination of you plus the people that you're trying to help and how you're trying to help them is what really starts to connect with people, right? So
yeah,
like being yourself, not being like, I was even telling Melanie like over the holidays, I'm a little weird, I'm a little quirky, I'm autistic, I have ADHD, I'm strange, right? And over the holidays, I was watching a lot of these shows. I was watching like Young Sheldon and re binge watching NCIS as my like background noise show and things like that. And our favorite characters are the ones that are like neurodivergently coded.
yeah,
Even if they don't say that the character outright is like autistic or what, like they're coded that way.
yeah,
They're sharing quirks and they're the lovable little weirdos. So why in
yeah,
the heck are we wasting so much energy masking? Like
yeah,
if you see me at TNC, I'm gonna look very similar to how I look now. My hair is
yeah,
probably gonna be because this is comfortable for me. I don't care that adult women don't wear pigtails or whatever nonsense. It's off my shoulders. It's not gonna get caught in my bag when I'm carrying my bag
yeah.
around. It still leaves all my hair out, so I'm blue and spotted. And you can see me. Like, what am I? It's not tangled up in my ear. Like, this is a very functional hairstyle. So I'm just gonna be weird. I'm just gonna be
That's
weird.
the one thing that we really help people understand is that ADHD and autism aren't your problem. Your neurotype's not your problem. Masking it is.
Yep. I am
pretending that
really
you don't need these
excited to see.
accommodations is, it's no longer the idea, because a bunch of us women that are late in life realized neurodivergence because of so many reasons, but we were fed this story that it's anxiety and depression and you're going to take a pill and you're going to be fine and you're never going to have to do this again, and it's somehow some sort of like moral problem that you have. And now we understand it's ADHD and autism, and it's the way our brain and our body works, so we have to accommodate it because it ain't going anywhere.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, even neurotypicals, like this was something that Victoria pointed out to me because I was like, I'm going to let myself be weird and I'm going to be a little quirky and unique while I'm at this event. I'm even going to carry my notebook around and everybody that I want to remember and why I want to remember them, I'm going to write them down. And I was like, even if I have to apologize to them for needing to write them down so I remember, or needing to take a picture of them so that, like take a picture of us together and text it so that I can connect
Yeah.
you with your face with my notes and I can remember the two. Like, that's a good
Yeah.
strategy for me. And she's like, why are you worried that somebody's going to think that's weird? Like, I'd be honored if somebody put that much effort into trying to remember me after an event. And everybody
Yeah.
struggles to remember the people that they met. So why are you so worried about it? And I was like, I don't know, because I think I need it. I need to do it that way to be able to remember people. And I feel like I'm accommodating a disability of mine. So I feel like
Have
I'm
you
weird
ever looked
gonna need to
into face
apologize.
blindness?
I think the issue that I have is I can't translate 2D to 3D, and I think it's because of the aphantasia. Like, I can't
Yeah.
visualize. Like when I close my eyes, I see
You
black.
could
So
have
people who
face
don't know,
blindness too. I have a
I can,
degree of face
once I
blindness where,
recognize people, I'm good. Once I see them in person in 3D and I
oh,
see their name and I can connect the two, then I'll recognize them again every time after that. I don't have a problem with it. But when I meet people in like 2D and Zoom, and a lot of times we look different, right? Like, this is how you see me if you're in a Zoom call with me, or if I'm at home in my house and I'm comfortable. But when I go out, I'm in like professional garb. I don't look weird and quirky, so I look different in person. So there may be an element to that as well. But like, I can't until I see their name. Like, so if you come up to me and your name tag's backwards and I can't see your name and I don't know who you are, please turn your name tag around or tell me your name when you walk up and it'll click. Because I've got people that I've known for years that I've only met online.
yeah.
And I just can't
I
translate.
don't want you overthinking it, because it's an exciting, fun thing that you're looking forward to. And I'm still sending you the list of all the things that I would do if I were you, knowing what I know about you and knowing what I know about everything else in the world that you would benefit from doing before you go on your trip.
Yep, I've already ordered little sachets of my electrolytes that I like to get that I can just put in bottles of water. So I've already got that going. I've
Yeah.
already ordered stress lozenges, so I have something in my mouth and I'm not worrying about my throat getting sore and all that. I'm not like chewing my tongue or chewing my lips or anything like that. So that'll be nice. That'll help. And I actually found lozenges that are made for stress, so we'll see how these work. They're like
Good.
homeopathic lozenges, and they're
They
not going
probably
to
have
taste all minty.
lemon balm and holy basil and a few other things in them.
Yeah, it's like ones that are made by Ball, and they're in like a little tin. So I'm gonna try those, and we'll see how those go.
Good.
But yeah, I mean, it's amazing how much we try and mask and hide. So it's really gonna be fascinating because I
Yeah.
went in September last year, which is just like a month before I met you. All of the stress on the back end of all those events and everything is like part of why I even reached out to you in the first place. And I was like, help me. I've been stalking you for a little while. I've tried watching all your videos. And this, again, for people who are afraid that you're sharing all your knowledge and all your tidbits and then people won't hire you, I religiously stalked Melanie because I was like, I'm not going to hire a mindset coach. I don't need a mindset coach. I don't need a mindset coach. I don't need mindset. It's just if I can. So I was like just scrolling and trying to fix it myself off of all of her content. It didn't work and I gave up. But I'm really interested to see my experience this year at the same event
Yeah.
compared to last time I went before I met you. And I'm just going to see how much better I do. So, if I walk up to you, please tell me good job because I need that feedback. So if I actually do walk up to you and say, hey,
All right, check if we have
I
any
did.
more questions, and then we gotta go because I got another live I gotta get ready for.
Claudine is excited about the idea of stress lozenges. But no,
We'll send you
no
the
other
link.
questions. So any last minute questions, throw them in right now or forever hold your peace. No, we'll be back. And for anybody who's in the academy, you guys know how to reach us. We're around.
Yeah.
All right, awesome sauce. So I don't know when we're going live next, but if you want to get notified when we go live, get on our email list. Go over to the Academy's website, neurospicyacademy.com. It's linked to from somewhere around my profile. It's in my profile somewhere or on
Yep.
one of my pages, but neurospicyacademy.com. Head over there, get in on at least the free tier. Like I'm telling you guys, if you're not sure if what we teach is right for you, if you're not sure if this information is going to help you, the free tier is designed to get you sure. If you're not
Yeah.
sure if being an entrepreneur, the way we talk about being an entrepreneur is possible for you, if you're having doubts, if you're having anything, just do the free tier. And you'll get notified anytime we're going to go live again. So you can come back with questions.
Yep.
With questions. You can text us questions. You can go to the website. There's a little chat bubble with my little blue-haired face. Click it. You will text us your questions next time we go live. We'll put them out. We may send you a video back in response. So please ask questions. We are here to help.
We're here to help and happy to help.
Yep, exactly. So y'all go into the new year with more grace than you have ever given yourself in any previous year. This is going to be the year that you end up happier.
Yeah.
Leave everything else aside. Don't worry about all the other things, all the growth goals. If you come back to the same time next year and you are happier than you were the year before, you have succeeded.
Yeah. What if it all works out better than you could have possibly imagined?
Ugh. That's amazing because I imagine really good things now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the goal.
Really good things
Yay.
now.
All right, everybody. We love you equally and for different reasons. We'll be back very soon.
Bye. I'll do